With thousands of hot springs, hundreds of volcanoes, and even a handful of active ones that are spewing lava to this day, it's no wonder they call this place the land of fire and ice. We've already been up close and personal with a couple of glaciers, but for today we're going volcano hunting, and we're not searching for just any old volcano. Our plan is to drive to the top of one of the most active and most violently erupting volcanoes in all of Iceland. Good morning everyone. It is another beautiful day in the mountains of Iceland. You can see I'm in a rather spectacular spot right now. There's a hot spring bubbling out of the ground just over here in the background. We're going to go for a morning soak and then we're going to hit the road. But I wanted to show you guys really quick, I'm just filling up the water system and everything's working flawlessly. It's working exactly as I hoped. The water filter's doing its thing, the UV lamp, no problem. And you can see I just have this portable bucket that I hang off the door hanger on the driver's door, and then that's suction filling into the tank. And so about 3 of these gets it full, and it takes 15 minutes to pump all of that water into the tank. So it does actually take a little while, and I usually wander around and do other jobs. Currently I'm filling it up about every 5 days or so. We're just kind of getting a hang of how much water we use. We're actually using a lot because we both have a big coffee in the morning and we make rice or pasta nearly every night, which both use a lot of water. And then of course, every time we have to clean up Aurora as well. So nice to turn on the tap and just have hot water for that. So you can just immediately get like a hot wipe and wipe down her hands and her face. So the water system so far, absolutely flawless. I'm really happy with it. Again, I can't stress enough, you can't do trips like this unless you have access to clean drinking water all the time. From the first time I started researching exploring Iceland, I knew the Southern Highlands would be a highlight. In fact, I kind of have known all along they would be the highlight. And now that we're finally here, I'm so excited to get out and explore far and wide. We're starting out here on the F208. This is a pretty famous F-road and there are other vehicles around, but as you can see, it is a crystal clear sunny day and we have lucked out. Of course, I always figure the more time you spend out in the wilderness, the more likely you are to get crystal clear days like this. The one thing we do have on our side is time, and I plan to spend as much as possible of it out here doing exactly this. It's hard not to grin from ear to ear as we climb up and over this little mountain, looking at the view stretching in front of us. And remember, this is just the lead up. This is just driving to where we want to get to for the day, to what we actually want to see. Like no place I've ever been on Earth before, Iceland is jam-packed with highlights. Even the transit days, even the roads you're not expecting to be mind-blowing are simply breathtaking, and we struggle to make forward progress because I'm taking so much video footage and stopping to take photos at the top of every rise and around every corner. Finally though, we do turn off the F208 and we start heading directly towards Hekkla. That's the volcano there in the background with the glacier on top. I don't actually know how close to the top we can drive, but I definitely want to find out. So we've just driven through this crazy volcanic outflow field and we've got to a warning sign here. There's some interesting things going on. The first one is they're checking your ski beacon. Obviously people ski up here in the winter, which is pretty rad. And then it's got some information about the volcano we're driving up. So this thing is called Hekkla, and it says it's one of the most active volcanoes in Iceland and erupts almost without warning, producing lava and ash. Seismic activity was detected 30 to 80 minutes before the big eruption in 1970, 8081, 1991, and 2000. If you are caught in the ash, get off the mountain. And a little diagram of what it's going to look like if it goes. So fingers crossed, none of that stuff happens. Soon after the warning sign, I put the Jeep in 4-wheel drive and we start climbing the mountain. Soon after that,
I opt for low range and we start climbing in earnest. It's a really long approach, and we're driving through this enormous lava field with boulders and what was obviously liquid rock not all that long ago. As is often the case in Iceland, we can be driving along through a barren ash and rock field with what was clearly liquid rock, and then suddenly we come across unbelievably green moss and vegetation growing on this volcanic rock, and the mountain takes on a whole new personality. It's like it's alive. It's covered in this phosphorescent green that just dances and glows in the sunlight. And so one face will be pure black, absorbing all the light, while immediately opposite it will be the brightest of bright green. So often it looks like an alien planet. It's exactly what I would expect someone to find if they went to a planet across the other side of the solar system. It's moments like these I have to pinch myself. I have to slow down and look around, take in everything that's going on. I really have driven my Jeep to Iceland, and I really am driving up the face of an active volcano. Maybe not the smartest thing I've ever done, but certainly one of the most beautiful. Like all big adventures, there's 100 reasons not to go. There's 100 times that I thought about giving up, that I thought it wouldn't be worth it, and that I thought it would be easier just to stay at home. These doubts always creep in, and it's not until I'm actually on the adventure that I realize how worth it all was. How all of that effort, all of those long days, and all of that doubt was so unfounded because of places like this. Every single time I put in the effort to go somewhere remote and wild around the planet, I'm rewarded with days like this. I'm rewarded with grins so big that my face hurts for the rest of the day, and I can't imagine not living this life and not always pushing to get out and see and explore and find out what's around the next corner and what's on top of that distant mountain. Of course, it's not easy to get out and explore like this, but over the years, I've realized that everything worth doing takes effort. And the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life have also been the most difficult. The ones where I had to dig the deepest, the ones where I had to work the hardest and push myself further out of my comfort zone than I ever have before. Those are the days I remember most vividly, and those are the stories I tell when I sit around the campfire. Days like this, I'll never forget.
So here we are. I'm getting pretty close to the top now, and Katie and Aurora have sat this one out. Katie does not love heights. I've got the drone auto following me, and I'm going to turn on the lockers right now. There's a scrambly hole coming up. Sway bar disconnected. Just looking at the drone, you guys can see me from behind. Let's see how slow we can do this. I'm going to do it in first gear actually. So I'm in low range, both lockers, sway bar disconnected. No need to go any faster than this. Let's see how it goes. There's one hole. I walked up here and had a look, and I thought I could either straddle it or just go through the middle of it. When I walked it, it didn't look so bad. Of course, now I'm here, it looks worse. I think I'm just gonna let the tires go in it and see what happens. This is the little hole, front tire's out of it, big hole. Front tire going in. Tiny bit of scraping now, I'm not sure what that was, but that was no problem at all. I don't even think we spun a wheel or lifted a tire. Might leave the lockers on for this climb, let it go into second gear if it wants to.
I didn't reach the actual crater of the volcano, but the view from the top was still well worth it. On the way back down, we stopped for a picnic in the sunshine, and I've got to say, this rates up there as one of the best views from a picnic spot of all time. To finish out our day, we can think of nothing better than retracing our steps back to the same campsite where we had access to an amazing hot spring. The views here are simply breathtaking, with the wall of relatively recent rock that was liquid not so long ago coming right up to the edge of the campsite. Surrounded by enormous mountains, and the blue sky just adds to the view as you're soaking in the pool. I feel certain we're going to be spending a lot more time here in the heart of the Central Highlands. Next time on The Road Chose Me, we turn off the main roads onto a track labelled Super Jeeps Only. This one's wild, this one's remote, you do not want to miss out. Make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you soon. If you'd like to get GPS track logs and points of interest for all the places we're camping and visiting across Iceland and around the world, they're all available right now to my supporters on Patreon. I owe them a huge thanks. They make all of this possible. So if you'd like to get behind the scenes access, early access, and all of those GPS tracks, jump on over to Patreon right now and check out all the perks. Thanks for watching. See you soon.